You ever have those sidekicks in, your favorite forms of media, whether it's a movie, a video game, a TV series, those sidekicks that you just can't stand? Like, okay, for my Kill la Kill fans out there, Mako.
No, screw you.
Mako's a dumb character.
Mako is precious.
Mako is a dumb character.
I will fight you.
Bring it. Later. We'll do it later.
I don't know.
We'll settle this later.
We'll settle this in a calm and rational manner, and then I'm going to punch you in the teeth.
On the battlefield.
Yes.
The logical battlefield.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Mako is precious.
Says
okay,
him.
Stop fighting.
Says me.
Says him. Okay. Anyway, there are those characters that you just can't stand. For every Samwise Gamgee, who is a great sidekick in every regard.
He's a good sidekick.
In terms of it, is a better hero than Frodo.
Yep.
You heard me say it. Bring it.
I'm in.
No,
I'm
we
with
all
you.
agree.
I'm with you.
You have you have a Robin.
Yeah.
Who every now and again gets caught. Every now and again is useless, especially Tim Drake Robin.
Well, here's the thing. All right, I'm going to get a little inside baseball here. We went out to Steak and Shake in the middle of our recording session.
Yes.
And we talked about doing this video.
Yes.
And I flat out said, Robin better be on here. And my thinking was, the Burt Ward Robin. That's the one I was thinking of.
Okay, yeah, from Batman, the TV show.
Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of.
Yeah, and the Tim Drake Robin every now and again.
Tim Drake was... Yeah, he had that problem a little bit, but it wasn't quite as bad as Burt Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the Dick Grayson that was in the Batman the Animated Series,
yeah,
he was a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
As a matter of fact, saving Batman's skin a few times.
It's true.
And, but every now and again you run across these, as Doug Walker, I think, is putting it here, dumbasses in distress who just so happen to get themselves captured and are pretty much contribute nothing to the plot. Oh, just thought of another one. Mary Jane Watson from the Spider-Man movies.
From the movies?
Yes.
Okay.
From the movies.
All right, I'll give you from the movies.
From the movies.
Well, okay. Versus Gwen Stacy from the Amazing... Actually, you haven't seen the Amazing Spider-Man movies, have you?
No, but I've read them. It's fine.
Okay, but yeah, the Gwen Stacy in those...
I do that. When I don't have time, I research things.
The Gwen Stacy in those are actually really good.
She's pretty good.
Gwen Stacy.
Yes. And then, Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen's pretty great.
So, okay. Doug Walker has compiled a list here of his top 11 dumbasses in distress. We think we have a few that we might know will be on the list. So,
I'm interested to see this list. He generally does pretty good.
Yes. So, shall we get started?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Wait, I never asked. Have you seen any Nostalgia Critic stuff before?
No, I'm ready.
Okay, he's good. This is one of his earlier things, but it's quality stuff.
Yes.
He does good work.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. We're all familiar with the term damsel in distress, the helpless female who always has to be rescued by the male, and in return turns herself into the reward. It's a cliche as old as time itself. But in recent years, it's gone through sort of an equal rights movement. We've discovered that even males have to be rescued once in a while, and that truly, stupidity knows no gender. But god damn it, do they have to be so obnoxious? The cliche is bad enough, but when a character clearly shows that he or she can take care of themselves, it just pisses you off when you're the one who has to save them in the end. Or on top of that, if they're just annoying as hell to begin with. Now, I'm not talking about all repeat hostages. For example, April O'Neil got captured all the time, but she was also funny, clever, and had a very likable personality. Indiana Jones's father got captured a lot, but again, he was a lot of fun to have an adventure with. These are the people you want to smack in the face every time they get in trouble. They're the obnoxious little pawns whose only purpose is to be rescued, to the point where you just want to say, you know what, let the train hit them. And I'm here to count down the top 11 of them here today. Why top 11? Because I like to go one step beyond. So, sit back and enjoy the top 11 dumbasses in distress.
Man, leave Jubilee out of this.
Well, let's see what happens.
It's going to be bad.
Number 11. Mary Jane Watson.
Oh!
Mainly by the
Yes!
though I did hear she gets kidnapped a lot in the comics and the cartoon. Yeah, she's nice and all, but it's pretty clear she's just there to be the person Peter saves. I mean, let's do a quick count of how many times Peter saves her. 6 times. That's 6 times in 3 movies. Some would say 1 is enough, but 6? Hell, one time was actually in a lunchroom. A fucking lunchroom! Are you kidding me? She can't even eat without somebody having to save her? We honest to God have to protect her from her own food? Put traffic cones around that apple juice. That shit is lethal. How about the fact that the reason Peter stays away from her is because he's afraid that if the enemies find out who he is, they'll kidnap her. Well, she found out in the second film that she was already in peril 5 times before that point. Hell, after she got together with him, she was only kidnapped once. So I guess in a way, that's sort of an improvement. The only film where she really starts to become a 3-dimensional character is in the 3rd one. But even then, ironically, people say there was a little too much of her. And that most of the time, it was just her bawling out Peter anyway. Oh, don't worry though. She'll be hanging out of a building in a few seconds.
Oh, and also, she dumped Peter because she was worried about him. So it was the other side!
Some dream, huh?
Gosh.
Number 10.
Existing as
Kaylee
only an
from
object.
Quest for Camelot.
Oh.
Okay, this chick wants to be a knight at a time when women aren't allowed to be knights. Well, good for her going against the norm and wanting to be strong. But the only problem is she isn't strong. And I don't mean physically, I mean in any sense. All she ever says is how she's going to be the world's greatest knight.
I think she's allowed
every other
to.
second, she always has to be rescued by a blind man. A friggin' blind man!
That one dude had a harpoon gun.
Maybe you could say she was just starting
pretty
out,
bad.
and she only got better as time went on. But no, she gets captured again and has to be saved this time by a chicken. A friggin' chicken!
Lady, at your service.
Lady, if you're put in situations where a blind man and a chicken can do better than you, maybe knighthood shouldn't be your first option.
Well, I see no reason why I can't come along.
I can think of only one time where she saved the blind guy, but that's it. Every other time, it's just her getting captured and yet still boasting about how she's going to be the world's greatest knight. Young lady, you definitely need a career change.
I want to save Camelot.
If she were a little better written.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I like how she
from the
portrayed
Temple
herself.
of Doom. Say what you will about
You leave
the other
Short
Indiana
Round
Jones
out of
movies,
this.
but they had some kick-ass leading ladies. Marion, awesome. Dr. Schneider, awesome.
Yes.
That Russian dominatrix,
We don't talk about her.
but still awesome. And
Who is
then
she again?
You got Willie.
Oh,
that
God.
pain in the ass who never shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Lady only here because she humping director.
Leave Short Round out of this.
Nothing,
Her, I'll give
constantly
you.
has to be saved, and all she does is bitch and moan throughout the entire film.
I can't
Yeah.
go hang cop. I'm a singer. Oh, I need to call my agent.
Oh, now that's a lady I want to fight for.
The biggest trouble with her is the noise.
She's so annoying that Indy would rather make out with naked statues.
Nah.
Hey, at least they're quiet.
Hey, I'm right here.
But she's not
God.
the only one who's a pain in Kali's balls. Short Round is also an obnoxious little fortune cookie.
Hey now.
Okie Dr. Jones, hold on to your potatoes.
I don't know if it's me
I
to
love
say or
him.
not, but his accent drives me nuts. Actually, I take it back. It's not the accent, it's the fact that he screams every line with that accent.
You say to stand against the wall. It wasn't me. It's you. Wake up.
God, shut up!
He does scream a lot.
He does scream a lot,
I
yes.
could watch that scene where he gets smacked like a bajillion times. Joy.
No.
Come
Breaks through
on.
the bridge.
Okay, yeah, that was
That was
uncalled.
stupid. That was.
He's
that was
like
He
he's
does
like
help Indiana
10.
Jones out
Yeah,
once in a
okay.
while, and I guess it is pretty cool that he can drive a friggin' car.
Yeah.
But most of the time, he's just being rescued from the bad guys and screaming all the way.
But
be fair-
but he also holds his own to some
And
degree.
he saves Indy.
If
He
you honestly
does.
think these two are worth dying for, they ain't. Trust me when I say your Willie is not worth saving when she acts like, well, your Willie.
You know nuts. He's crazy.
Prepare to meet Kali.
Leave Short Round out of it. Willie, I'll give you.
Robin.
Ah, there
Every
you go.
variation of this character has him as the whining little decoy. I mean, just look at what he's wearing. Batman is dressed in black so he can blend into the shadows. He wears the mask so he can strike fear into the heart of his enemies.
Fun fact,
Robin
black,
just
you
looks
actually
like a
stand out
bullseye.
very
He seems
strongly
to
in
just
the dark.
Scream, hit
Yeah.
me. Everybody knows it, and everybody makes fun of it. Even Tiny Toons.
Someone who can sing. Someone who can wear a bright red uniform and draw all the fire. Attention. So what do you say, decoy, to take hostage?
I take it there's little point in discussing retirement benefits.
It was pretty annoying in the animated series, too. He just seemed like that dweeb that was gonna try and represent the younger, hip crowd.
No problemo, Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember how many times you said that growing up?
Don't look at me. I flunked Greek mythology, remember?
Surprisingly, the character was a little more badass when they switched him to the younger kid. But even then, he had his fair share of hostage situations, too. Actually, Robin was one of the few things that the movie Batman Forever did okay. They did make us feel the pain that he was going through, and shockingly even managed to turn that bullfighter cape into a pretty cool costume. Is the only time Robin actually sort of
minus the bat nipples.
But even
minus
in
the
that
nipples.
movie, by the end, he had to be rescued once 3 times in the entire third act. And of course, do we even need to discuss Batman and Robin?
No.
How does dialogue go again?
No.
Well, he may be the world's most famous sidekick,
There
but
it
it's
is.
also one instance where you just want to say, maybe I should let him drop.
Holy migraine!
There it is.
Number 7.
Batman are we in his name?
Inspector Gadget.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let's ignore that piece of dick movie and just focus on the cartoon.
Yeah.
Inspector Gadget really pisses me off because he has all the power in the friggin' world. He's like RoboCop times 10. He has every gadget for every problem. And what always ends up happening? His damn 10-year-old niece always has to save him.
And the dog.
And Brain.
Good God, why didn't they just give her all the cool little gadgets?
Yeah,
I mean, true, she
they
has
did.
that book and that watch, but couldn't they just put all that stuff in an intelligent person? In fact, how cool would it be if Penny got all those gadgets?
Well, they kind of did that with My Teenage Robot.
That would have been awesome.
Fucking sweet.
Yep.
As much as Penny always had to rescue her uncle, it was sort of a strange circle of abductions they had going on. When Inspector Gadget gets in trouble, Penny has to save him. When Penny gets in trouble, Brain has to save her. But when Brain gets in trouble, Corporal Cape Man has to save him. But if Corporal Cape Man gets in trouble, well, the fucking world blows up. Bottom line, just don't rely on this idiot. He's a fucking lemming. I guess he made the show fun for kids, but man, someone seriously needs to give this inspector a clue.
You can count on me, Chief. I'm always on duty.
I love Inspector Gadget.
I do too, but yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. I love
Lois Lane.
Yes.
Oh, God.
The all-time classic.
Without mentioning her. A lot of this depends on what version.
She's number
you go
6.
to. If you go to the older comics,
Damn,
she's just
you're right.
a dimwit who needs rescuing. Black and white show, dimwit. Old cartoon, dimwit.
Yeah.
By the time the movies hit, though, she was a little bit more developed and grew much more attitude. The same thing can be said for the animated series.
Oh, yeah.
He turned into a much more cynical and enjoyable character.
Yeah.
You could make the argument that this only made her worse. In the old days, it was just common for women to just be the reward for the man, and therefore be underdeveloped. But with the movie and the cartoon, they developed her as a tough, no-nonsense person. She would do anything to get the story and was determined to put her all into it. So really, her getting kidnapped all the time doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I guess the idea is that she's way in over her head, but they establish that she can be really smart. And a smart person wouldn't constantly need someone to save her. She could probably take care of herself. By doing this, she becomes less of a character and more of an annoyance. You just want to say, dude, don't go in there. You know what's gonna happen. Take the hint. This also makes her maybe a little bit too reliable on Superman. For someone so smart and independent, she sure is willing to just throw herself for him, isn't she? They even poke fun of how many times Superman rescues her.
You just hold on that little lady and you'll be along.
Miss
Lane.
Lane? Lois Lane? The one Superman always saves?
Afraid so.
At least with April, you
That
sort
was a
of
good
knew
bit.
she was greedy and probably deserved what was coming to her. On top of that, she served as the hero's means to interact with the human world. Lois's job
She wasn't
just
a
seemed to
reward.
be to get
I will
caught,
give
and then
that.
report on it. I admire later versions for trying to make her more three-dimensional, but maybe that just makes her stupider.
I hate to say, I've gotten used to it.
Number 5.
I don't know.
Jubilee.
Oh, boy.
Fuck
She's
you.
very similar to Robin
Oh,
in that
boy.
she was supposed to represent the younger crowd who watched
Fuck
the story.
you.
And for
Wait.
a while, she did. In the
Now,
first few
Jubilee
episodes,
in
she
the
actually
comic book
does
or
have
just in
some
the
real
TV
good
show?
lines.
Jubilee in the comic book is badass.
Okay, what about the TV show?
I mean, sure, she got caught a lot, but she was starting out, too. But by the time the first season went by, not only was she getting caught a lot, but she was a whiner.
Are you blind? Is this gonna take long? What is your problem? He's on our side!
With Robin, you sort of knew he was dead on arrival. You know he's never gonna connect with a younger crowd dressed like that. And plus, a grown man hanging out with a little kid. Kind of creepy. But Jubilee, despite also having a weird wardrobe, had a better chance of connecting because she was part of a group. And on top of that, it was a group of rebels, which every kid loves and relates to. So that's why it really sucks that she became such a third wheel. We wanted to feel like that kid who was part of the team, but she mostly just complained until somebody would come along and save her. And we didn't want that representing us. We wanted to fight right alongside them, not be saved all the time. I don't recall her being too much better in the comics, but at least she did have a few more kick-ass scenes.
She's better in the comics.
Her power's about as effective as...
A spriggy!
Yeah. What else can you say, but...
Does a mom baby chili fries?
That.
So, in the comics, she actually loses her powers and gets...
Scrappy Dee.
Oh, fuck Scrappy Dee!
Yes. God, I hate this little turd.
So,
this
she actually gets...
I don't know, nephew,
she actually has
cousin,
a suit
weekend son,
that gives her
I have no
different
idea.
powers.
But he was
It's
annoying
crazy.
as hell.
Okay.
He would
It's
always
awesome.
act tough and rush into situations thinking he could save
God,
the day. But of course,
I
he's the
hate
size of an
Scrappy Dee.
8-ball. So physical violence is probably not going to help you here.
Let me at him! Let me at him!
No!
Naturally, Shaggy and Scooby had to go in and rescue him every time he'd throw himself into peril. Yeah, you're making these guys look brave.
Yeah!
Come on, Uncle Scooby. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
His voice was annoying, the character was annoying, the fact that he never shuts up was annoying. God, he was annoying! Oh, and did I forget to mention his annoying catchphrase?
Puppy power!
Oh, God. First the Pound Puppies movie, now this? When you know
They made him the
catchphrase isn't
villain
gonna catch on.
in the live-action movies.
If I ever see a dog like him crossing the street, I'm stepping on the gas. Because the sooner I can eradicate this little bitch from being anybody else's problem, the better.
I'm Scrappy Doo!
Very good, Doug.
Yeah, basically.
Jar Jar.
Oh,
Binks.
How are you
yes!
only
Even
number
need to go
3?
into much detail.
Who could be
He
worse?
cemented himself as one of the
There's
most
2.
annoying characters.
Who could
in
be worse
all
than
of
this?
cinema. But on top of that, he always has to have his ass saved as well. Even
Yes.
when they first meet him, they have to rescue him from something. That's a good introduction.
You saved my again.
What's this?
A local.
I think the most I've ever seen him do in these movies is lead them to where the underwater city is.
That's
it. Everything
Leave
else
him.
is either getting himself in trouble or getting other people in trouble.
Yep.
And then somehow this guy actually gets a position of government. Though I guess that makes sense, saying nothing but garbage, being terrified of people, and yet never listening to what they have to say.
Yep.
That adds up. And I guess I'll point out what everyone else has as well. If Jar Jar was never put in power, then the Emperor never would have made his clone army, and everything wouldn't have gone to shit. So, yeah, everything that goes wrong in the following movies, you can totally blame on Jar Jar.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thanks, Jar Jar.
I want to talk about...
What else do I even need to say about him? His voice sucks, the character sucks, he can't take care of himself, and he doomed all the galaxy. Fuck him.
I speak.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
And he's only number 3
2.
on the list.
Who's number 2?
Princess Peach.
Oh!
No, fuck
I
you.
could punch this broad in the face. Really, I could. How many times has this whore been kidnapped?
Whoa.
Did they up the security yet so that it doesn't happen anymore? And every time it does happen, she just keeps her pretty little smile. Tee-hee-hee. Fuck you, bitch. I'm risking my life for you for the 20th fucking time. And don't you dare insult me by saying you're gonna bake me a cake. No. You give me a position of power, you fucking bimbo. I know more about this kingdom than you do. You see,
man.
I've been through it like a million times. You can't even stay around long enough to remember what it's called. I'm running the show now, Peach. I'm running the show. I don't know. I think it's just the attitude. The fact that she has no problem that you have to save her all the time. It just never seems to faze her. She never seems to feel bad. In fact, listen to this note that they have in the Mario Brothers Wii game. Dear Mario, because of my most recent kidnapping. Recent kidnapping? What is this, just another day at the store for you? It doesn't even faze you
I have
anymore.
a theory on
You
this.
go out there and
Okay.
risk your life, whore. It ain't easy. The other thing that annoys me is just that she never does anything. She just smiles and gets caught. That's
disagree.
it. Oh, wait, there was Mario 2 where she could friggin' fly in the air. That was really cool.
Yep.
But guess what? That was a dream! It never happened. So that literally means she has contributed nothing in any of the Mario games.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have a fight
you got
about
Smash
this
Brothers and Mario Party and so forth, but come on, they're just go-karting and playing games. Hell, she uses a frying pan as a weapon.
Hey, a frying pan's pretty badass.
That frying pan is her best weapon in
No.
Super Mario RPG.
Now she'll be telling me her main weapon in a game is crying.
No.
Shit about Super Princess Peach.
Nope.
I hate you.
Jesus.
Princess Peach. If you still want to save her after all this, well, you'll have plenty of opportunities. Now I know what you're thinking. How can I possibly top Princess Peach, one of the most famous damsels in distress of all time? Well, believe it or not, there's actually one worse. Who could it possibly be? Let's take a look.
Yeah, we're going to have a long discussion
biggest
about
dumbass in distress is...
Okay.
Bella.
Oh!
The most selfish, male-dependent,
That barely counts.
uncaring, manipulative, self-centered, pretentious,
Yay!
idiotic, whining little bitch bag you will ever see in your entire life.
Yeah.
And honestly, that wouldn't be too bad character. That'd be very, very interesting if it was intentional. But it's not. Bella is supposed to represent the everyday teenage girl. If that's the case, then the story really got mixed up who the blood-sucking monster is.
Oh.
She thinks she's tortured even though really she has no problems. She gets a crush on a boy and decides she wants to marry him, even though she's not even out of high school yet. She wants to be turned into a vampire, which everyone has said is throwing her life away. But of course, at the enlightening age of 17, she already knows exactly what she wants. Aren't you glad you followed through with every bright idea you had at 17?
Right?
Aren't you glad you
Yeah,
totally
they do.
committed to something that you knew you could never make a mistake on at that age? Oh yeah, 17! Nobody ever fucks up at that age! The boyfriend tries to leave her so that he can save her, but she constantly keeps throwing herself off cliffs and putting herself in danger just so he can notice her. Good fucking God. That's right, girls. If your boyfriend leaves you, do exactly this. I assure you it won't backfire in the least. Sure, you might be dead, but that'll teach him. She then gets another boy involved who actually seems supportive and attentive, but she dumps him because the other guy looks at her weird. And by God, how can she turn down a guy with no personality that just looks at her weird? Again, one of those brilliant choices you make at 17. So now a whole war is going on, all because of her. And everyone is going out of their way to try and protect her, and she's simply like, yeah, that's cool. Oh wait, she does try to say once that she's not worth it, but that only lasts a few seconds. She then realizes that she is worth it, and is totally on board with having muscle boys carry her around everywhere. And just as her boyfriend finally agrees to marry her, imagine a boy being pressured into marriage, she dicks around with the other guy yet again. Oh my God. I mean, oh my God. I have never seen a character more needy and more insecure. She is such a dumbass in distress that it's actually kind of scary. She is a scary character. In another dimension, maybe she could have been a great Shakespeare villain. This really complex, developed psychotic mind. But as the common, everyday, relatable girl that we're all supposed to identify with, she is, and always shall be, the biggest dumbass in distress. I'm the Nostalgia Critic, and pray for these boys, people.
No.
Pray for them.
No. All right.
No. So
I will not pray for Edward. I may pray for Jake because honestly, I like Jake. Jake has a good heart.
All right. We're gonna have a discussion about Princess Peach now.
Okay, go for it. Vent, my friend.
So here's
Vent
the
away.
deal. Has anybody considered? And I think this is kind of an interesting theory.
I do too. I know exactly where you're going.
Bowser isn't kidnapping Peach to kidnap Peach.
Hold on, sorry. We were recording.
Okay.
I just accidentally hit stop recording.
Oh. All right. So
there we go.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So Bowser isn't kidnapping Peach to kidnap Peach. Bowser is kidnapping Peach so that Peach can have a life. Imagine, if you will, you have been thrown into this position of power in a monarchy.
Uh-huh.
You have had no chance to have a life outside of this. You have been groomed from day one to rule over this kingdom that is operating pretty well on its own.
Yeah.
And then, the first situation happens. You get kidnapped. And then, guy comes to rescue you. Okay. But while you're kidnapped, you get to talking with the guy who's kidnapped you. Because, what else are you going to do?
Stockholm Syndrome.
No.
I know, I'm joking.
And, he sort of realizes, hey, you're actually not all that freaked out by this. Yeah, I sort of don't enjoy that life, so it's nice to have a break. Really? Huh. Well, how about I just kidnap you every other Thursday? Huh. That's actually not so bad an idea. And then, of course, Mario is read in on it. Mario goes and takes out Bowser. Because at least, it's some excitement in Mario's life.
Mm-hmm.
Peach gets to get out of the castle every now and again. Bowser's not really doing anything. This is his claim to fame.
Everybody wins.
And that's why, oh, hey, Mario Kart, everybody's friends.
That's in their downtime.
Yeah, that's in their downtime. They go go-karts. Because Peach is finally like, all right, look, enough. I'm going to go and do some things on my own. And, at this point, Bowser's still just like, well, do we want to keep the kidnapping thing up? Yeah, it's kind of nice. So, Bowser goes and he puts on the show because it's like, all right, how am I going to do this? And then on the ride back, Peach is like, oh, so how are the kids? Same old.
How's the wife and family?
Yeah, Like, so, and they just go and, like, get a pizza, watch TV.
Hang out.
Out.
Drink tea.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
She gives Bowser maybe some relationship advice. Because, there's got to be a Mama Koopa there somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah,
somewhere.
It
can happen.
Let's be fair. If you look at the Paper Mario games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She is constantly sneaking around, doing all kinds of subterfuge in order to get information from Mario to make his job easier.
Mm-hmm.
Or to figure out a way to escape. And then Super Princess Peach, all right, so...
I understand some criticisms about Super Princess
the
Peach.
emotion thing was a little weird.
You mean the vibe scepter?
Look, I don't want to talk about what Peach does in her off time.
Actually, there was a little bit of a jab at something like that in Super Mario RPG.
Oh, yeah. Peach's XXX, yes.
Well, instead it was in the English translation, it was question mark.
Yeah. and then somebody runs in and hands you. I actually watched a playthrough of Super Mario RPG recently.
And it's just
they were just like, "Whoa, what?" Yeah.
And they were like, "Okay,
it's like,
here's a mushroom. Don't look back there.
Forget this ever happened." Yeah.
Let Peach have her question mark.
It's like, look,
I ain't against it.
Yeah, sure, you can believe that Peach is getting kidnapped all the time and there's nothing she can do about it. I think it's more interesting
to consider
that
theory.
This is exactly where she wants to be.
Maybe
she understands. Mario understands. Hell, the whole Mushroom Kingdom understands. This is a way for her to get out
and have fun.
Get out, have some fun, get some time off.
Yeah.
Without having to break down the tradition that all of the older generation sees as so necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this fits in with the theory about on Top Gear when Clarkson was talking about, you know what, I've noticed this. We're here in Africa, and beautiful place, food growing everywhere, and you notice here on the maps, the Sahara Desert, one of the most hardest places on the earth, it's mapped out perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And you head down here to Central Africa, and there's nothing. What I'm thinking is that they would take a gap year here and just say, oh, he's lost in the wilderness and probably won't be heard from for 6 months or a year. And you come down here, get a tan, and you come back and you invent some fantastic stories about how you fought off typhus or fought off malaria and made friends with tribesmen and all that. And I could see that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you see that, because honestly, Central Africa wasn't really that hard to wasn't
hard to map out. Yeah.
Yeah, whereas the Sahara Desert is hell.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
On that,
so
that one makes pretty
actually,
good sense.
So that actually fits in here with the theory that you're talking about with Princess Peach. Everyone knows what's up.
It's one of my favorite things that I've seen of Superman, and I mean you all know how I feel about Superman.
Yes.
So there was a I can't remember if it was a different comic or a story that I read at one point, but Superman's Clark Kent is in the busy newsroom.
Yes.
And something big happens and everybody sees it, and he's looking around, and somebody that he works with is like, "Quick, use the broom closet." He's like, "What? Dude, we all know. Do you think the glasses are really working for you as a disguise? No, we all know. We just don't say anything so you can have a life."
Well, and then there's also the theory of while he has the glasses on, while he's being Clark Kent, he does, because if he has heat vision, and he has all these and all that, what's to stop him from doing like hypnovision?
Oh no, he's already done that.
Yeah.
That's a thing that he's done.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of
people carrying on the secret
of people and even like the bad guys.
Yeah.
Because Lex Luthor knows Clark Kent. Lex Luthor knows Superman. Lex Luthor should be smart enough to figure out that they're the same person.
Yeah.
What if he did and he's just like, "You know what? That guy, he's trying his best.
Yeah.
We have beef, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But he's a worthy adversary. I have to respect him. I'm going to keep my distance. Not going to attack Clark Kent. If we come to blows over something else, so be it." I kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea.
I could see that.
But yeah, that's why I take some offense with Princess Peach being on the list.
Okay. Well, this is one of Doug's older top 11s.
Because I mean, this is.
Well, actually, this is even earlier because
Oh yeah, this is.
Hold on.
This was the repost.
Yeah, hold on. This is a repost, and let's see.
But
okay. Originally aired April 27th, 2011, so more than 5 years ago.
Yep.
Jeez. And I bet you by now he's had time to really
to think about it and re-examine the list. Yeah.
And put Jar Jar Binks at number 1.
So yeah, this is the original video here, which honestly I typed it in, and the fact that this one, because it's the official channel, doesn't pop up first, I'm kind of
That's weird. Yeah.
That's a bit weird. But still.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those interesting situations. I agree with a lot of people on that list.
Oh yeah, I do as well. I ardently agree with that.
I feel like some of the people on that list should have been better written and thus would not be on that list.
Yeah.
Correct.
The Lois Lane one makes me a little angry.
Okay.
But he does point out some interesting points. Like, I've gotten used to it. I don't know that this is necessarily something you should just accept as happening.
Yeah, it's true.
I also disagree that giving her more character makes her seems more stupid.
Yeah.
Well, because
I'm with you there.
Well, because they write her to be more cynical, you'd think that she would expect to not put herself in dumb situations.
Right.
But, and to be fair, in some cases, she's not actually putting herself in dumb situations. Dumb situations just happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But
like, how many times have we seen... So, a scene opens. Bruce Wayne is somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Shit goes down.
Mm-hmm.
He runs Batman comes back, obviously.
Uh-huh.
He didn't put himself in that situation. That situation happened and he was there. For example, the Joker coming in to rob a charity benefit.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne was just there, minding his own business.
Well, okay.
So, I mean, there are situations that happen that I'm sure.
Because Bruce Wayne is a rich socialite, you'd think, oh, he's an easy target. To some degree.
Well, okay. Superman Returns, and I hate referencing that movie in any respect other than Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Spacey was the only good part of that movie.
Yeah.
The situation...
Actually, Frank Langella. I thought like Frank Langella as well.
All right, yeah,
Pretty
that's
good.
fair. So, the movie opens.
Yes.
By the way, Elena made a sock. That's why she's only wearing one. So
yeah.
Don't freak out.
Was
She
that
made
for a
that
different
sock.
Episode?
Yeah.
It was. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
Elena made a sock.
Yeah.
She just
Made a
finished
sock.
it.
You
So
can watch the progression of sock.
yeah, over the week, it's interesting.
That's pretty interesting.
It'll be interesting to see what order the videos are in.
Yeah.
But Lois Lane is on a plane that is about to launch a space shuttle.
Yes.
Which makes pretty good sense.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would have allowed all these reporters on there, but I mean, it's pretty big news. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Something goes wrong.
Big time.
How could she have known that? She couldn't. Superman wasn't around to save her because Superman's been gone for 5 years. Not her choice.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
But
it's not as cut and dried in that situation as Doug makes it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, bad situations finding people, I mean, it's...
Some people are just really unlucky.
Oh, God, you just reminded me of a friend of mine. Has the worst luck in the world. I mean, honestly.
Wait, you know Bad Luck Brian?
I think this guy gives Bad Luck Brian a run for his money. And through it all, I mean, honestly, this guy has had a whole bevy of bad shit happen to him. I mean, in terms of his family life, in terms of his personal life, in terms of his financial life, just a bevy of bad luck just keeps befalling him.
Yep.
And through it all, he maintained a positive attitude. He slipped and fell every now and again, but he never got lost in his he never got lost in himself and made him felt sorry for himself.
Wait, you know Job?
Job?
You know, from the Bible.
Oh.
Job.
Oh.
Elena got it. I'll
no,
take it.
No.
I'll take what I can get.
I was going to say since we were talking about fictional like full on like comic book character, I'm like is there a Job in the comic? And all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. Oh yeah. Yeah. But honestly, okay.
But
I'll tell you all the bad shit that happened to him.
All right.
But anyway, anything else to vent on?
I'm pretty well covered, I think.
Okay. All right. So, well,
Elena, what do you got?
She's got...
No, you've got something. Let it out.
Go ahead.
I disagree with the whole Kaylee thing. She's doing her best. Leave her alone.
She was doing her best. Yes.
I'll
agree with that.
I give credit on that.
I chalk that up less to her and more to the writing.
I do as well.
It was a
I do
bad
as well.
90s movie, just
No,
like
it was the 90s.
It was the 90s.
It was the 90s, and
they didn't write stuff. Okay.
They were still figuring that out.
They just wanted quirky characters like
yeah, that's
chickens
true.
with axe beaks. Just let it live.
Yes.
I mean, badass blind dude with a stick. I'm in.
I am as well.
Axe head chicken. All right, now you're just trying to get the little kids with the talking animal crowd. No, that's too much. That's too
silly.
much.
You see, there's a good mix of it somewhere along the line.
And the thing was, that one guy was definitely a robot with a harpoon launcher.
Yep.
Like a Mega Man harpoon launcher.
We had a lot of metal golems just like chilling. That's some serious shit for a girl that grew up in the country. Like, chill.
Yeah, like she's riding off on a horse. There is a robot running after her, firing harpoons at her. Okay. I think she's entitled to have a little trouble with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's completely entitled.
But okay,
she's fighting off robots.
Well, here's the thing: she's a fish out of water.
Mm-hmm.
Give it that.
Yep.
The blind man still saves her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, if they had it to where she learns a weakness of the metal golems and exploits it and helps the blind man defeat them, I think that would have been better.
Yeah, definitely.
It would have been her learning. It would have been her learning, but instead she doesn't learn. Instead, the way they wrote her, she didn't learn, she didn't grow, and instead her character, even though she had good, a good story behind her, and also pretty good voice acting, and also and had a lot of good going for her, never got off the ground because of the writing, like you said, Ben.
And part of that was due to trying to characterize the blind man as stodgy and not wanting to teach her. So like,
so by writing one character one way, you've also doomed another character.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I'm with you. All
right.
I'm glad that you were here for this.
Yeah,
because I have not seen that particular
You haven't seen
movie.
Quest for Camelot?
I haven't.
You're going to.
Quest for Camelot's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't.
The
on
animation.
DVD.
Oh well, the animation's actually pretty good. The animation's actually pretty good. I like the story pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I think that's a movie. I think you remember one time in one of the live streams someone asked us if you could rewrite from the beginning a different a movie or a series, that would be one. That would be one I'd give a different shot at.
Mm-hmm.
And
actually, on the same vein, the Black Cauldron.
Yes, that one as well.
Tune that one up a little bit.
Yeah, because honestly,
need some help.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, and on that bombshell,
yes,
it's time to end. Thank you very much for watching. Good night. Nate, I hope you're taking notes on this. There will be a quiz later.